जन्मानेकशतैः सदादरयुजा भक्त्या समाराधितो भक्तैर्वैदिकलक्षणेन विधिना सन्तुष्टैष स्वयं साक्षात् श्री गुरुरूपमेत्य कृपया दृग्गोचरः सन् प्रभुः तत्त्वं साधु विबोध्य तारयति तान् संसारदुःखार्णवात् तत्त्वं साधु विबोध्य तारयति तान् संसारदुःखार्णवात् सर्वव्यापकमद्वितीयमजम् वेदान्तविज्ञापितं द्वन्द्वाभासविवर्जितं भवहरं शान्तिप्रदं देहिनां कर्मविकर्महीनममलं त्रैगुण्यविच्छेदकं ध्यायेत् ब्रह्म सदा प्रशान्तमनसा भक्त्या च सश्रद्धया ध्यायेत् ब्रह्म सदा प्रशान्तमनसा भक्त्या च सश्रद्धया। हरि ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोद निराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Second chapter we were doing. यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति दभ्रमेवापि नूनम् त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम् यदस्य त्वं यदस्य देवेष्वथ नुमीमांस्यमेव ते मन्ये विदितं नाहं मन्ये सुवेदेति नो न वेदेति वेद च यो नस्तद्वेद तद्वेद नो न वेदेति वेद च यस्यामतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्य न वेदसः अविज्ञातं विजानताम् विज्ञातमिव विज्ञातमविजानतं ताम् यस्यामतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्य न वेदसः अविज्ञातं विजानताम् विज्ञातमविजानताम्. So, we were discussing about this understanding because the whole subject is about the subject in us. It is not about anything in the objectude, so the difficulty comes from there. And that is why this contradictory language is used. That one who thinks that he has understood, he has conceptualized Brahman, actually he has not understood even the elementary point of it. He should know that Brahman is not to be conceptualized, it is not to be understood by the mind as a form, anything. Whereas he has not conceptualized, so at least he knows that it is not to be conceptualized. That much he knows. So he is on the right track, even if he has not understood fully. He is on the right track because he is not trying to conceptualize. Don't take it to be easy. Actually, not to conceptualize is extremely difficult because our mind cannot think without conceptualizing. To get rid of this, all the preconditioning of the mind is not at all easy. So when it is said that one who has not conceptualized, he has known, it means quite a lot. So we have to read between the lines and get at it, get the real meaning out of it. In that context, I was telling the Chandogya Upanishad story in the 8.7 chapter, the Indra and Virochana story. So I said that today I will go read it out from the book because there are details which I will not be able to remember. It's very good. Then we will come back to the shloka again. Brahma is the creator and the self-knowledge comes from the creator himself. So he is the first guru also. There is a story, Brahma Putra is Vasishtha, that first Vasishtha was born as a knower. Right from birth he was a knower. So he would not do anything, he would not move. So Brahma understood that it has become a mistake on his part, because he will not be able to serve the world. Only when a person is first ignorant, and then he works put his sadhana and effort to attain the knowledge, then he will be able to help others. Vasishtha, being born as a knower, he will not be able to. So Brahma put Vasishtha on his lap. The moment he put him on his lap, Vasishtha lost his knowledge. He started crying that, what have you done to me, what have you done to me, I am suffering, I am grieving and all that. Because Brahma's sankalpa, whatever is the Brahma created, this conception of Brahma has been made as creator, that whatever his sankalpa is, that is the world. His mind, the whole world is actually Brahma's mind. So whatever there comes, the world becomes, the universe becomes that. So his sankalpa that Vasishtha should lose his knowledge, immediately he became ignorant and he started crying. Then Vasishtha gave him Upadesha, Brahma gave him Upadesha, and Vasishtha finally became a knower. And then Brahma sent him to the earth for serving, making others, also relieving others of their ignorance and all. Now this Asura and gods, they were all, Brahma is the grandfather of them. They are all born of Brahma's lineage. But they were always fighting who will rule the world. That means who will be the superior. Asura and Devas, they were always fighting with each other, which this part is Pauranika, mythological. And that part is mythological. They use that mythological to explain the truth also. Use that mythology. So Brahma had once said, it was known that Brahma had declared that the self is taintless, free from old age, death, sorrow, hunger and thirst. One who attains the self wins all the worlds, all his desires. This was Brahma's statement. He also said that, but the self-knowledge has to be attained. It is not easy to have self-knowledge. You have to leave everything to have the self-knowledge. You have to leave everything. You have to want only that self-knowledge one-pointedly, and you have to go to a proper preceptor, proper teacher to have the self-knowledge. This was Brahma's statement. Now, as Janashruti, that means from people, the gods and demons also came to know that this is what Brahma had said. Thinking about that, separately, Indra, who was the chief of the gods, and Virochana, who was the chief of the demons, Asuras, they were enemies, they were not knowing that he is thinking, but both of them started thinking together. So they thought that we should put all our effort to win over the self, somehow to attain the self-knowledge. Because the gods thought that, Indra thought that if we can gain the self-knowledge, then the Asuras will not be able to rule over us, not be able to disturb us. And Asuras thought that if we have the self-knowledge, then we will rule over the demons. In their own manner, they thought. There is also meaning in that. Whenever the truth is uttered, each person takes the statement according to his own thoughts, own level. This I was discussing during the Guru Purnima, I think, in great association. The people try to understand a saint also according to his own mind. So their judgment will generally be wrong. When the saint is admonishing somebody, he is doing only for the benefit of the person. He will not do even if it needs. Generally he will not do. When he feels the confidence about it, he does. But in most of the cases, people think that, oh, he is scolding me, he doesn't like me, he likes others, like that. Because we have preference and prejudice, partiality, we like for nothing, we have close friendship with another person. So we hate the person whose manners we don't like. So all these things are the general mind's nature infested with ragadvesha. So when we try to judge the saint also, we try to impose that ragadvesha on his mind, and according to that we make our judgment. So the judgment is generally always wrong. So here also, although Brahma's statement is a great statement about the ultimate sadhana of life, they took it that he wins over all desires. Now it is true, because one cannot attain the self unless he purges all his desires. No desire should be there. And they are finding that it means that all our desires will be fulfilled. I will eat more, I will drink more, I will I will be enjoying my life more. They will take in that manner. So that is how they have taken. So both of them wanted to, but also Brahma has said that for that great sacrifice is necessary. So they were ready to do the sacrifice because it is the highest in life. So although both of them were kings, they left their kingly attire and everything and went like very humble seekers, maybe dhoti and uttariyam, humble seekers with faggot in hand, with firewood, carrying firewood in hand. That was the practice those days. They approached Brahma. Now, they had concealed each other that Indra is going to Brahma and that Virochana also going to Brahma. They were hiding their intention from each other. Generally it will be that because Indra is wanting to win over the demons. So if he tells him the same secret, then how can he win over? Try to understand the mind. Although our shastras always exaggerate. Exaggerate means they will give an example which will be easily understood. But the purpose will not be served unless we try to understand it applying to ourselves. In our case, it may not be so gross and clearly visible, but we have the same tendencies in a subtle manner. So we have to apply in that subtle sense also, that both of them want to have the greatest gain in life. But each one thinks with their own selfish ego that the gain when I have, it will be my gain. Is it not? The self-knowledge is not that kind of a gain, because the whole world will become his Atma. So nothing is mine, and as long as you are wanting to have my gain, means he will not have you cannot become the self, because that is the main hindrance, selfishness. But with that selfishness also they were attracted by the self-knowledge, because it is the highest and everything will be won over, all desires he will have. Actually all desires he will have, here it means that he will not have any desire at all. It is true also in a sense, because the mind becomes pure without desire. So whatever sankalpa he does, it becomes true. That way he will have all his desires. But he will not generally have any desire, except thinking that the shishyas should become all right. They should not fight with each other. They should have enough of knowledge. They should become pure. These are the sankalpas can be there in India. What else will be there? You will not have other sankalpas that I should have an ashram with a palatial building and every room should be air conditioned and all should come and press my leg. All those things will not be there. So, but because of their tendencies, they tried to hide from each other, that I am going to have the great gain. He also thinks But Providence, being Brahma himself, he arranged in a manner that both of them reached there in the same time. And it was open what they have come. So anyway, they came and both of them were ready to undergo the austerities. So Brahma asked them to have 32 years of brahmacharya. He did not take notice of them at all. They were staying there for 32 years. They practiced brahmacharya, means all kinds of self-control. Although they were kings, they were not having any of their comfort and all. They were serving Brahma, being brahmacharyans there. And what happened is that remaining as brahmacharyan and serving Brahma for 32 years, they became friends also. all their differences, that became less. Now, as I always say, in the presence of the saint it will go. When you go back again, it will come back, unless the purification is full. And it is 32 years, you should not become depressed. None of you has 32 years of austerity here. So we can expect that by 32 years we will not have any more jhagda amongst ourselves, any more competition. Can we not expect that? The ashram inmates, nobody has crossed 32 years. We have also not crossed 32 years. Only 30 years we have. So, after 32 years of practice, Brahma once called him and he asked them that I am finding you serving me for a long time with lot of austerity and all. What for you have come? Tell me what for you have come. After 32 years, so all of you would have gone and got into employment, and is it not? 32 years would you, even 7 days nobody wants to wait. In Shukadeva's case, Janaka made him wait for 7 days first. When Shukadeva went to Janaka, Vyasadeva sent him, because he was son of Vyasadeva. Whatever Vyasadeva says, he said, I know it. Shukadeva was having knowledge, but the fact is that it was not an actualized knowledge. So Vyasadeva was trying to instruct him so that he does his sadhana. But whatever Vyasa says, Shukadeva says that I know it. What are you telling me new? It's all I know. Then Vyasadeva understood that because I am his father, he is not going to listen to me. Let me send to Janaka. So he was sent to Janaka. Now Janaka understood that this boy is quite egoistic. He might be very pure and have the knowledge also to some extent, but he has developed ego. So he did not allow him to enter the palace at all. Shukadeva waited like Nachiketa. He remained outside the palace for 7 days. Then Janaka instructed that you allow him, but let him remain with all the ladies only, the Antapura. So then Shukadeva was sent to the queens and other people, all the ladies only, 7 days there. After he passed these 2 tests, then he was called to Janaka. And the story goes, I don't want to extend it, because Janaka also, whatever he was saying, Shukadeva was thinking that I know it. Whatever happened with his father, moreover he had a little more ego that I have my father such a great ascetic, and he is sending me to a king who is remaining in so much of comfort in a palace, and he is involved in throughout the day, 18 hours or 22 hours of a day, he is involved in all killing, punishing people, rewarding people, and that what will he teach me? That kind of a feeling was there. So whatever Janaka is saying, he is thinking that I know. Janaka understood that this boy is not going to learn easily, because his face he could understand that he is not receiving. That was the time the Pratihari came, the Dwarvan, the guard or spies came and reported to Janaka that Maharaj, there is fire in the palace. There is fire in the palace. This story you must have heard. The moment he reported, Maharaj, there is fire in the palace, Janaka was instructing Shukadeva. Both of them are sitting there. The moment the guard came and reported, Janaka remained calm, but Shukadeva started running. And running with what? He had carried one stick with one pair of dress or so, a potla here, a small bunch of it. Picking it up, he started running. So Janaka pulled him from behind. So what happened to your knowledge? All along you thought that you know everything, and when there is fire you are running, and that too with your small possession. What you have in your, maybe it is 1 dress or 2 sets of dress. That also you are not able to leave. You are carrying it and running away. I am ruling the palace. If anything necessary, I will give the instruction and it will be there. Where I am sitting quite calmly, you are running away, then what is your knowledge? Then Shukadeva understood that it is not the pakka knowledge, it is only theoretical. Then it says there are various stories. One story says that he was sent for austerities in the Himalayas for 36 years or so, whatever, no, maybe a long time, I have forgotten. Like this, our Upanishads and others, they always instruct things in this manner, in the form of a story, where lot of exaggeration will be there. But we have to understand that the point that the purpose of the narration is true of all of us. We have to look into ourselves, and that same thing, defect will be there in us in a subtle manner, this manner or that manner. Now, he called them and asked that, what have you come for? Then they said that we have heard that you declared that this self is taintless, it doesn't have thirst, hunger, anything, it's free of death, free of decay. But one has to do lot of austerity and come to a guru, proper guru, to get the self-knowledge. So we have come to you to know what is that self. Okay, so sit here, I will tell you. Then he tells them that what you see in your eye, that is the self. What you see in your eyes, that is the self. He also said that this self is immortal, fearless. It is Brahman. That is why I have brought the book. Some portions I will miss. He said that which is seen in the eyes is the self. This self is immortal and fearless. It is Brahman. Now these are all Chandogya Upanishad mantras. The story, it is all in the Upanishad. Then they said that, Lord, when we look into the water, we see something as our reflection in that. And when we look into the mirror, then also we see ourselves in the mirror, the reflection in the mirror. Are the two same, or what is the difference? Brahma simply replied that the self is seen in all these. Now whatever Brahma is saying, it is a truth that you should know. Whatever is seen in the eye means, can the eye see within itself? This is where the link with the Kenopanishad is coming. He asks, Chakshushaha chakshuhu, Shrotrasya shrotram. That is what is coming. He is saying whatever is in the eye, that is the self. Now in the eye, can the eye look into the eye? Our eye cannot see our eye at all inside the eye. So who is seeing inside? Who is there inside the eye? So they have to inquire, they have to discriminate. But because they did not have the discrimination, they immediately thought that eye we cannot see, but when we are holding a mirror, I am able to see my eye. When we are looking into our face in water, we are able to see the eye. So is it the self? He says all this is self, because there is nothing other than self. So they became very happy. Now Shankara raises a question here, that was Brahma deliberately misleading them? He says, Shankara says, no, it is not at all so. Our method, the Guru's method, is to take the Shishya by step according to his adhikara. Adhikara means his fitness, his deservingness. If we tell all the truth in its highest form, as we do generally nowadays in Kali Yuga, we are trying to tell the highest truth in the first lecture. A person forcefully brought to the lecture hall, also we are giving the truth. Is it not so? We have made an arrangement for webcast so that the whole world, anybody can see, Tom, Dick, Harry can see. there is no restriction. Nobody is going to ask, what is your adhikara? Can you understand this or not? They may misunderstand and do anything also, but we believe that nobody is giving this so much of importance to our teaching that they will take it seriously and do anything. That is also true. But it was not like that. In Kali Yuga, it is like that because, as Ramakrishna Dev said, that annagata prana, that people will not take to it. There has to be thrust. So, what we are doing is trying to thrust, even if people are not interested, somehow some interest is created by putting some name of management, personality development, this, that, stressful, what is that? Secret of stress-free living and all those things. So we are trying to attract people by all these things and somehow push the knowledge in him. It was not like that. Even if you go, they will say something and you will be automatically sorted out by your discrimination. That is what is happening in the story. So Brahma was certainly not misleading. He was trying to lead the Shishya according to his deservingness, his fitness, step-by-step manner. And trying to induce some thinking in them, analysis in them, introspection in them, so that they start thinking about it and start differentiating and come up with some question or so. Because we are always speaking the highest truth in the first lecture itself, nobody comes with any question also. Actually, when people have really some question, they think, they ruminate, they will have question. And the teacher is always happy when the student comes with some question, because that makes the whole lecture lively. But if we ask questions in some lectures and all, everybody will ask, oh, mrityu ke baad kya hota hai? Janmantar kya hai? Is the Atma going here or there or not? What we said, they will not ask question on that. They will ask that pet question. To all the people they will ask it. Today we have got an email, a question has been asked, a similar question. But from the email we come to know that that has been asked to many saints in India. So many saints' names, he forgot to remove them also. They have asked Swamiji, but they have asked all other saints also. They na he. So he wanted to develop judgment and discrimination in them. Now what happened? Both of them went happily. Oh no, then there is a little more. He said that all this is self. Then he asked them to bring a vessel of water. They brought the vessel of water. Then he asked them, if you have any doubts about the self, then let me know. Look at yourselves in a vessel full of water. Look at yourselves in a vessel full of water. So they looked into the water. Prajapati Brahma asked, what do you see? They replied, we see the reflection of our whole self. The entire self, including our hairs and nails. See the reply. Our whole self, including our nails and hairs. Prajapati said, okay. Now go and take bath, clean yourself, and after getting well dressed, putting on fine clothes and ornaments, then again you come and look into the pan of water. They did like that. Now here, why should they take bath? Clean means some purity will dawn in the mind, that in a hurried manner, if you do something, the vichara will be coming when you are in a peaceful state of mind after bath and all. That is why these rules are there, that you have the classes after bath in the morning, and so when the mind is calm. So they followed and came back and looked into the water. Prajapati asked, what do you see? Both of them said, revered sir, just as we are well dressed in fine clothes, ornaments, we are neat and clean, in the same way, in the reflections are also well dressed, neat and clean, with ornament and fine clothes. Prajapati says that is the self. It is immortal, changeless, fearless. It is the Brahman. This is his statement. So hearing that is the immortal self, that is the Brahman, both of them were very happy. They have known the self, they have seen the self after 32 years, so both of them went back. Now Indra and Virochana, seeing them leave, Prajapati said to himself, they are going without knowing or realizing anything about the self. These two are leaving without knowing anything about the self. Anyone among them, whether a god or a demon, who will understand this teaching of mine in this way, it has gone, volume has gone, will be lost from the path. That is, if they understand that the thinking the body to be the self, as both of them thought the body to be the self, whatever the changes are coming in the body. So being teacher and being well-wisher for them, Prajapati felt a little sad that these people left without asking for any clarification, any question. They went away. Now Virochana went back to the demons. He was happy. He understood what is said, that the body is the self, and he started very happily teaching them. Now, very sarcastically, the Upanishad mentions that whatever Virochana is teaching, that they have named as Upanishad. In the shloka itself, he is saying that the Virochana Upanishad, it is called Asura Upanishad. That his Upanishad was, oh my demon children, you should all know that the body is the self. It should be worshipped. It should be taken very well care of. It should be cared for. If you worship it and nourish it well, then all your desires will be fulfilled. All our desires will be fulfilled. Eat, drink, and enjoy yourself. This is the life of a demon. So this is the Upanishad. This is Virochana Upanishad. That you do like that, this is the self, and if you have the self, then you will be winning over all the worlds, everything will happen like this. It is like Kenopanishad that avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhiraha panditam manyamana dandramyamanaha pariyanti mudhaha andhena niyamana yathandha andhenaiva niyamana yathandha, like a blind led by the blind. Why? Avidyayam antare vartamana. They are immersed in ignorance. Swayam dhiraha panditam manyamana. They think themselves to be all-knowing panditas. Dandramyamanaha pariyanti mudhaha. But what is their life form? Dandramyamana means like Brownian motion. Erratic, random, running here and there, because there is no goal. Suddenly they will think that there we will have more money, run after that. By that time something else happens, or maybe the tax people catches hold of them, or something else, that always running around here, there in an erratic motion. Dandramyamana pariyanti mudhaha. They are all fools because their life is pariyanti. It goes round and round the same every day, morning to evening, whatever, the next day, it is repeated. There is no progression. There is no progression. So, andhenaiva niyamana yathandhaha. They are like blind led by the blind. Because here Virochana understood wrongly because of his ignorance. And he is instructing He being the king, he is instructing others. So he is instructing and making all the demons also fools by that. The Upanishad says that, this I found very interesting. In the Upanishad it is written that is why even today people say. That means Upanishad is narrating something from the Purana far back when Brahma's story is something in the beginning of the civilization. And this Upanishad, I don't know when Chandogya was composed, but written or so, but nobody knows, it is prehistoric. At that time he is saying that is why even today people say, oh, he is a demon. Why? A person who is devoid of Shraddha, Dana, Jajna, good behavior, people say that he is a demon. Their attitude is, why should I share? I should enjoy. They don't believe in anything higher or subtle. They believe body is everything. That is why they decorate the dead body with ornament, flowers, silk, etc. As if a dead body is beautiful. They think if the dead body is decorated like a prince, the deceased will conquer the heaven. This is Upanishadic statement. I am not reading from Shankaracharya. It is Upanishad statement. This is I found it very interesting. Generally we don't find that they are referring to a Kala. Generally the Upanishads are timeless statements. They are referring to the Kala and it was like this. That is why people now say like this. And they decorate the dead body. Now that practice is there in various places also. They put all the ornaments, decorate and all. But here the purpose is different, that if you decorate the body, because the body is the self and they are thinking body is the highest truth, that even after death also it will go and it will conquer the heaven and he will be the king there. That is their idea. Maybe in Egypt our pharaohs were given everything, kept the body they used to maintain. Maybe from such a philosophy it would have happened. And I think they were burying the servants also along with him, so that they serve him. That they have not died. Along with the pharaoh, the servants also will be buried with him, so that they can serve the pharaoh. That is what I have read. I am not sure. You can look into the internet. Yes, because they will need their service. They cannot live without service, kings. And dead body is beautiful. There is lot of truth in it. Suppose we don't know that when any body we find beautiful, it is not so much because of the bodily beauty. It is because of the vital energy. Suppose a man is attracted to a woman. When the woman's dead body is shown, I don't think anybody will be excited by that. Because the vital part is not there. The prana, all the attraction and the beauty comes from the prana, not from the body. Even if a person is beautiful, after it's a dead body, I don't think it will have any attraction. Now what happened? So Virochana started teaching like that, and he was satisfied with that. The whole demons, they also were satisfied with his teaching. They remained demons. But Indra, before he reached the god, their own community, the god community, Indra felt some doubt that what is this? It was looking exactly like us when we put some ornament and dress. It also was having dress. So, but Brahma has said that the self never undergoes any change. Then how is it that initially it was not having the ornaments? Now when we look, it is having the ornament. Suppose if I am lame, then that will also become lame. The reflection also will be lame. If I start crying, the reflection also will cry. So he was actually analyzing each part of Brahma's statement, that the soul is unchanging, so it is not unchanging. The soul is without any fear, without any sorrow. It is not so. Whatever he thought to be the... Now there was a difference. Both of them saw the reflection. But there was a difference in the understanding. This part I forgot to mention. That Virochana thought that the body, his body is the self. And Indra thought the reflection is the self. The fundamental difference also is there. Now Indra started comparing. Virochana thought body is the self and he was happy with it, he went away. But Indra thought the reflection is the self. So what are the characteristics, parameters of the reflection? He is analyzing that it is not unchanging. It is undergoing sorrow and happiness. It is becoming lame. It is becoming blind. Whatever the changes are there, it will all be shown. So then whatever instruction Brahma has given, that is no good. So he came back again and told Brahma all that. That how can it be? Because it is like this. If this is the self, that it cannot. Brahma said that yes, what you say is true. I will instruct you again. 32 years brahmacharya. Again 32 years. Why? Because the purity of the mind has to come. If he instructs at that time, he will not understand. Unless the mind becomes free of the desires, free of the body, the Dehatma Bodha, the knowledge will not done. So what is the point? The gurus like him, earlier gurus were very calm and intelligent. They will not waste their words like us. We are all fools. They will not speak about anything at all unless it is needed. Unless the question is asked, they would not speak. Even if the question is asked, they will give an answer, and if you don't ask further, then they will leave it at that. That is what Brahma is showing. Through Brahma, Upanishad is showing. So he stayed again for 32 years practicing and undergoing purification process. Then after that, he came back. Brahma called him. After 32 years, he called him and gave him the instruction that, well, that is not the self, but when you sleep, in the dream, you find your identity. In dream you find your identity, a glorified identity. There you can become the king. If you want to become king, you are the king of the whole territory. If you want to win over everybody, you are able to do that. Everything that you want, you can get in the dream that your body is doing. Suppose you are a lame person, but the dream Indra will not be lame. Suppose you are a blind person, but the dream Indra will see everything nicely. Everything will be there. That is the self. The dream personality is the self. That person who goes about being worshipped in dreams is the self. It is immortal and fearless. It is Brahman. Indra then left happy in mind that he has got the knowledge. But even before he returned to the gods, a doubt arose in his mind. A person may be blind, but when he is dreaming, he is not blind. He may be lame, but when he is dreaming, he is not lame. There may be some defects in his body, but his dream body is not affected by them. It is true, the dream self, that is Indra's thought going on. It is true, the dream self is independent of the body. But I find that even in my dreams, I am sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy. Sometimes I am in pain, and sometimes I am crying in dream. And sometimes I even see myself being chased by someone else and I am frightened. So whatever fearlessness, sorrow, changefulness he said, these are all he is applying again, discriminating. This is what Brahma wanted him to do. The discrimination should be applied. But the Prajapati says that self is free from fear, it is unchanging. So how can the dream person be the self then? I cannot know. I cannot accept the answer. So he again goes back. Indra returned with firewood in hand. Prajapati asked, Indra, you left happily that day? What has made you come back? Indra replied, Lord, a person again repeats whatever he was thinking, that he repeated. Hearing him, Prajapati said, when the self is sleeping with all its organs inactive, it is free from worry and has no dreams. Shall I repeat? When the self is sleeping, that means Sushupti he is talking about, not dreamful. With all its organs inactive, it is free from worry and has no dreams at all. This is what the self is like. It is immortal and fearless. It is Brahman. Indra now became happy. He left with a happy mind. But again, before he got back to the gods, his mind was troubled. He had a doubt. He thought, when the self is in deep sleep, it is not able to recognize itself as I am so and so. See how he is bringing in the correct thinking? In Shvetashvatara, they did it in just one verse, 2 verses, this analysis. As it does when it is awake. Not only that, it does not even recognize beings around it. It is as if the self has been obliterated. That is, in sleep, as if the self has died. It is not there at all. I don't see that anything good will come out this. That knowing this self, what good will come? Knowing that sleeping self, how can it be? How can you win everything? How can you become fearless? How can you become happy ever? Prajapati said, Indra, yes, it is really so. I will explain the matters to you again, but stay here another 5 years. So 332 means 96 years plus 5 means 101 years. So you will find in many shastras they often refer to this Indra's tapasya of 101 years in the company of Brahma. In the Guru's company, 101 years of tapasya was done by the Devaraj Indra. But because this is no more 32 years, because already he had attained the purity, it is the last portion of the purity to be done. Indra lived there another 5 years. The total time Indra spent thus was 101 years. This is what sages refer to when they say Indra lived with Prajapati for 101 years practicing brahmacharya. Then Prajapati told him, for the 3rd time Indra returned, Prajapati must have... No, the other shloka will be done. For the 3rd time Indra returned, Prajapati must have been very pleased with him. If the student comes back again and again with questions, then naturally the teacher is pleased. He thinks, I have a good student. He wants to know. I am happy that he is discriminating and he is thinking. This time he asked Indra to, this is not from the Upanishad, this is the Shankaracharya's. This time he asked Indra to practice brahmacharya for just 5 years. As he could see, Indra was almost ready. So Indra practiced austerities for a total of 101 years. Shankara says that the reason this story has been introduced here is to show how important self-knowledge is, that there is nothing higher and more desirable than self-knowledge. The Indian scriptures are very clear. If you are mainly interested in acquiring money, they say, all right, have money. But remember, it will only give you happiness for a while. Very soon you will discover that it is only creating bondage for you. It is the same for all other things, for scholarship, for political power, for social standing, and so on. You may enjoy them if you want, but all the time you must remember that they will not last long and they will not give you peace of mind. This is, of course, the translator's edition. I thought of reading it, it's good. Then the real self-knowledge was instructed during these 5 years. After that, Indra went back and ruled as a knower king, Rajarshi. Do you like it? Huh? Are you able to follow thoroughly? Now, there is exaggeration in it, but the fact is that it is all true. Until we start the rumination process, the knowledge will not dawn. However, you may listen, like the sannyasin who visited here, that 50 years I have done Sangha with many great saints, I have been listening to this, that, many of the saints are known to us also, we have heard about them, we have seen them also. But it has not dawned because I did not have the intensity of introspection. So, maybe in this Kali Yuga or in the modern era all the more, that unless you give the truth, people they don't have this tenacity or the patience to wait and listen to the Guru. Or maybe the other way, now people are much more intelligent, so the whole approach has to be different. We have to approach the same subject from altogether a different angle. That can also be true, we don't know, that has to be seen. But the fact is that when we are speaking, what will we speak? What we know, we will speak. In the current state, what are we doing? We are going and lecturing, or we are speaking in the TV, or we are speaking what is propagated. Naturally, in such a delivery, what shall we do? We will speak whatever we have known to the highest in life. Suppose in our life, whatever delusions were there, those delusions and all, whatever we remember, we may narrate them as a caution to the others. But that also as a caution to the others. But generally, what will we speak? Whatever we have known to be the greatest, the most valuable, the best, we will speak about that only. If we are truthful, if we are honest, we can speak only that. Now, who will take and who will not take in this, we cannot say anything. But certainly, whenever any real seeker comes and really undergoes the introspection and real questions come up, not manufactured questions, but real questions come up, to make him understand, to explain to him that where the things are going wrong, how we will be. The other day I narrated to you about that ego working, trying to do something very best. That as long as the ego is there, the best performance will not be there. But after it was explained, the person did apply it that day itself in the work and found the result. So in such cases we feel very happy that See, all these things, unless you live it, it will not have its effect. So when some instruction is given and you are applying it in your day, in your life, and you get the result, we know that the result will be there, but people don't apply, what can be done? So when it is applied, you will get immediate benefit, because as Shankaracharya says that Svargadau Anubhava Anarudhe Shanka Syat Asti Va Nava iti. That whatever is non-experiential, like Svarga, Naraka, Punarjanma, all these things, heaven, hell, which is non-experiential, there will always be doubt. Shanka Syat Asti Va Nava iti. Whether it is there or whether it is not there. Because you cannot prove that heaven is not there. Can you? You cannot prove that heaven is there also. Never can be proved. There anubhava anarudha, they cannot be experienced. But then he says that jnana phalam anubhava arudham tu jnana phalam. But whatever is the result of knowledge, it is all experiential. Now, whenever we say experiential, people will think that there will be vibration, there will be this, that. No, we are not talking about physical experience always. Suppose your mind, one day you understand something which you were not able to understanding, a new horizon opens up. Is it not experiential? It is an experience of buddhi. Suppose a purity dawns. All along you were suffering from selfishness, jealousy, envy, asuya, whatnot. So one day you feel that your love is pouring out for the entire world and you are no longer touched by the constrictions of selfishness, jealousy or anything. You are able to embrace your enemies also. Suppose A is not able to talk to the person B, and when they are explained that this is not right, you consider him to be your son or whatever, depending on the situation, and you own him up before you speak, you will find that there will definitely be a change. And he applies it and finds that immediately there is a change. And it becomes his own experience that the stress his mind was suffering from. Any such anger, jealousy, selfishness, blamefulness, when we are blaming others, it is causing a stress in our mind. So, when we are able to get out of that, get rid of that stress, of that blamefulness, immediately the stress goes. As I said, that a person has lost property, family, money, everything. He is standing on the street and crying, not being able to take. But the moment it has happened, you accept the situation. The moment he accepts the situation, he finds that his mind has become free like the sky. And he will be able to work for his whatever he wants again. But not accepting a situation which has happened, it is absolutely foolish. He cannot do anything. It has already happened. By not accepting, what do we gain? So these are all jnana phala, that the moment we understand that it is foolishness, immediately it goes. Similarly, that Bhagavad Gita phala also, that the moment we understand that the result which I am waiting for, that is after this result is come, only then I will be happy. This is not the right situation. These understandings will give so much of freedom, so much of illumination. They are all experiential. The fact is that when we are coming to know of it, when we are exposed to it, we have to apply it in our life. Every moment we have to apply if possible. We will no longer have any depression at all. You may sometimes become a little sad, sorry, that is different. But there won't be any depression anymore. Depression means selfishness, it means ego. Elation means ego, depression means ego. So all these things, they are true. And more we apply in our life, more and more they will become real, experiential. And I think there is no end to it also. This sadhana doesn't have any end. Even one can understand truth very well also, this sadhana, I don't think it is going to end ever. Some little things will be there. Nature will put him in a place where he will find it difficult to again overcome. He has to become still greater, still vaster in his mind. So the mind slowly becomes like a, more than the space even it should become, that spatial dimension of the mind. So here actually what they are doing is trying to introduce that this truth they are speaking about is what we are, our real identity is. And that identity is not in the objectude. You cannot have one or two identities like that. Even one also saying is wrong. On that the whole universe which consists of my body, mind, personality as a small speck. All the bodies, they are in the universe. Like that, my body, mind, personality is also a small speck. The whole thing is appearing in that consciousness. And that consciousness I am. So if that is repeatedly meditated upon, contemplated upon and analyzed, and we identify ourselves with that, certainly the mind will become like that. So even then also you cannot call it Suvedeti. What is known? Nothing is known. Finally you discovered that I was like this, I am like this, I will be like this. What have I known? Nothing. So what is knowledge? What is self-realization? He will not bother about self-realization anymore. He will be so happy with his life and say pilgrimage or journey or whatever he is, that he will not bother about what is called self-realization. Let it be anything else, I don't bother about it. Let others worry about self-realization. I am happy with whatever. If it is self, it is self. If it is not self, it is not self. I am no more interested in self. So, this is how the importance to be given to Shruti Mata. Shruti Mata means the shastras. We call it the greatest mother. Because with so much of care they have given us, bestowed us this knowledge. But we have to have the patience to understand. Otherwise you can just simply throw off this saying that it's all meaningless, like Max Muller. Wherever he entered any contradiction, no, it is prakshipta. Prakshipta means extrapolated, interpolated. Because he never came to India, he never understood Indian life or so. He was a great Pandit, no doubt about it. He has translated all the Vedas and all. That's fine. But the fact is that it is not our sadhana. Our sadhana is altogether different. Whenever we are not understanding, we should have the patience to read between the lines what they are trying to mean through such contradictions. Okay, we will stop. Shanti Mata. Yeah? What? Huh? Then switch on that mic. That mic you put on. Om apyayantu mamangani.
Om apyayantu mamangani.
Vak pranaschakshushrotramatho.
Vak pranaschakshushrotramatho.
Balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Sarvam brahmaupanishadam.
Sarvam brahmaupanishadam.
Maham brahma nirakuryam.
Maham brahma nirakuryam.
Mama brahma nirakaroda nirakaranamastu.
Mama brahma nirakaroda nirakarnamastu.
Anirakaranam mestu.
Anirakaranam mestu.
Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu.
Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu.
Dharmaste mai santu. Te mai santu.
Dharmaste mai santu. te mai santu.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Upanishadsu dharmaha te mai santu. That all the qualities those who are presented in the Upanishad, may all of them adorn me, come to me. What kind of me? Atmani nirate. The I who am completely dedicated to the sadhana of the self. To me, may all the dharmas of Upanishad descend. So it will happen if we are given to that one pointed, the dharmas also will come. Okay. Hari. That's it.